Back to the streaming, if you wouldn't mind. You've previously said that the BBC has never competed financially with streamers, of course, but that it does compete through excellence.
Yeah.
To what degree are you concerned that sustained cuts to BBC services could ultimately undermine quality?
Inevitably, I think. It depends on the depth of the cut, and any cut is going to affect quality. But I think we are reaching a point, I think, where the unique thing about the BBC is the quality of what it produces. And once that goes, if that goes, then it will sort of... It would have much more of an effect on the BBC than it would on anywhere else, because the BBC's USP is its quality. So cuts will inevitably affect quality.
Thank you. And the new Director General is reported to have said that the BBC has funded content at the expense of the platform, which would include the iPlayer, which you've already referenced. What's your response to the idea that smaller budgets for drama might improve iPlayer?
I know that quote. I'm not sure that that's what was specifically meant. I think if you ask my opinion about the question in general rather than my opinion of the quote, I think it's essential that the quality of the material is good in order that people will even access the means of acquiring it. So the two things are important, but it's got to be good to make people want to acquire it.
Right, you can't have one without the other.
The two things have got to go together, and I think potentially, I've met the new DG. I think he's great, and the fact that he's got a tech background is probably what we need.
Thinking of take a moment to consider those great British institutions. Where would the BBC rank with you, and how much importance should the UK put on ensuring the BBC stays where it is?
I think it's right up there. I can't think of anything that would go above it, not least because it's becoming more and more relevant. I know, the kids are all on their screens and all of that, but a lot of the stuff that they're watching is sourced from TV. And now that the streamers are taking material that maybe the BBC has initiated and spreading it all over the world, in a sense, the streamers are making the BBC even more relevant than it was. Because now it's not only people in this country who see BBC shows, it's everybody around the world. So suddenly the BBC has this role in the PR of the country, in the marketing of the country, because now so many people, more people will see the BBC shows. Whereas if you think 20 years ago, people weren't seeing BBC shows because there was no way of them seeing it unless the BBC sold it to a distributor in the States. And now that was happening, but the companies in the States would only buy certain sorts of shows. Now, it's like Spotify. People are just going and finding all sorts of stuff. And that's why shows like Peaky, which started off as a BBC Two drama, did what it did, because people all over the world, without any marketing budget, found it. And when they found it, they liked it. So I think the BBC has never been more important, influential, and worthy of investment than it is now.
Thanks, Stephen. If I ever post anything on my social media feeds in support to any degree of the BBC, I get inundated by people telling me it's a waste of money, it needs to be cancelled, that sort of stuff. Have you got any thoughts as to where that's coming from?
Where it's coming from, I wouldn't know. I mean, everyone has their opinion. If they don't rate the channel or the channels, then that's a matter of opinion. I think the idea that opinion of the BBC is necessarily a political thing. It doesn't have to be. We're talking about something that comes on your screen and shows you either watch them or you don't. The hit rate of BBC is incredible for the budget that it has, and it isn't like the BBC is this elitist arts channel. It's producing the biggest, most popular TV shows in the country. And it isn't a class thing. It has always done that. It has always provided mass entertainment. So, I don't know. The perception of the BBC, it's almost like there's a perception of the BBC and what it is, and then there's the actual BBC, which is what people actually sit and watch. And if you want to watch the news, you're going to watch BBC.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Stephen.